Indiana with the fourth fastest pace of play, and that suits Caitlin Clark.
She was the face of the league revival, the most talked about rookie in years, and yet, when Team USA flew to Paris, Caitlin Clark was left behind. What followed wasn't just outrage, it was a national basketball uproar.
Caitlin Clark, WNBA Rookie of the Month, packing arenas while averaging 17 and 6 assists. That's not enough to make the Olympic roster.
To millions, this wasn't just a snub, it was a slap in the face. How do you bench the biggest name in the game? And just few weeks later, Caitlin Clark delivered her response not with words, but with one of the coldest on-court clapbacks ever. A masterclass performance against the Phoenix Mercury on August 16th, 2024.
Mitchell with 5 seconds left. Cross-court Clark. Does Clark see the clock? Handoff Samuelson. Who buries a three?
This wasn't just another game on the calendar, it was a showdown that would become a defining chapter in WNBA history. On this night, Caitlin Clark didn't just play basketball, she lit up the league and reminded everyone why she wasn't just the most hyped rookie, but the beating heart behind the WNBA's meteoric rating surge. When Caitlin Clark stepped onto the court that night, she wasn't just facing a team, she was staring down legends. On the other side stood titans of the game, 5-time Olympian Diana Taurasi, the unstoppable Brittney Griner, and scoring machine Kahleah Copper. It was rookie versus royalty, and Caitlin, she stepped in like she owned the throne.
From Indianapolis, WNBA basketball is back after the Olympic break, where tonight, Caitlin Clark and the young upstart Indiana Fever.
Before tip-off, Caitlin Clark was already putting up star numbers averaging 17.2 points, 6.6 assists, and 4.5 rebounds a night, shooting 41% from the field and nearly 34% from deep. But it wasn't just about the box score. She had dragged the Indiana Fever out of the basement and into playoff contention, injecting life into a franchise many had written off. And somehow that still wasn't enough. Head coach Cheryl Reeve left her off the 12-woman Olympic roster. So when the Fever faced the Mercury in a sold-out Gainbridge Fieldhouse, it wasn't just a regular season clash, it was a high-speed, high-stakes statement game, and both teams came out swinging. Right from the opening whistle, Clark didn't waste a second. Less than 2 minutes in, she pulled up from deep and splashed a three-pointer like it was nothing. The scoreboard read 9-2 Fever, and Gainbridge Fieldhouse erupted. The crowd was electric, the building shaking, and the tone officially set.
And wrestling through a triple team. Here is Clark off the screen, launches, and drops a triple.
Moments later, she sliced through Phoenix's defense, weaving into the lane and banking in a layup with surgical precision.
Now on a back-to-back here tonight, this is really physically demanding.
No, it is extremely difficult. Just one, not only physically, but also mentally staying in it.
Then came the showdown, rookie versus legend, as Clark went head-to-head with the great Diana Taurasi. The veteran answered with a bucket of her own, but Clark stormed right back with a breakaway finish, pushing the Fever's lead to 14-6.
Go against another team here. They've been chomping at the bit. It's Taurasi, what a spin! Taurasi a finish.
Man.
A 20-year veteran, Diana Taurasi, dialing back, and it's Clark on the other end at 22.
By the end of the first quarter, Clark had already racked up 10 points, 2 assists, and 2 rebounds. But she was just getting started. The Fever kept their foot on the gas, doubling Phoenix's score for most of the period. And just when it seemed like Phoenix couldn't sink any lower, Clark stepped up to the arc and buried another 3. A cold-blooded Steph Curry-style dagger. She was smiling, vibing, and dominating. Like she wasn't facing 3 of the league's fiercest stars, but a college squad.
Indiana with the fourth fastest pace of play, and that suits Caitlin Clark.
Against 5-time Olympian Diana Taurasi, dominant post-force Brittney Griner, and Olympic gold medalist Kahleah Copper, Caitlin Clark made them all look human. Clark opened the second quarter like she had unfinished business. She pulled up from the logo, and though the shot rimmed out, it led to a rebound and bucket by Aaliyah Boston that reignited the Fever's momentum.
Playing her game, and Phoenix got to do a better job closing out on her.
Clark, from the logo, couldn't get it to go, but there's...
Seconds later, Clark showed off her vision. A no-look bullet passed from half-court, slicing through Phoenix's defense, landing perfectly in Nalissa Smith's hands for the easy score.
In your game.
Indiana comes up with a turnover. Here is Clark. This time it's Smith.
Then came another, this time to Kelsey Mitchell. The ball was moving, the crowd was roaring, and the game had officially turned into the Caitlin Clark Show.
Here's Mitchell, behind the defense. And Caitlin Clark can do no wrong.
But it wasn't just flash, it was fire. Clark didn't back down an inch against Diana Taurasi, a 20-year veteran and WNBA Titan. On that court, it didn't matter if you were a rookie or a legend. Clark owned the moment. By halftime, her stat line read like something out of a video game. 19 points, 6 assists, 4 rebounds, 4 threes. The Fever were up 54-37, and Clark had made one thing clear. She wasn't just good. She was the problem Phoenix couldn't solve. The Mercury came out swinging in the third, determined to claw their way back. Diana Taurasi drained a pair of tough mid-range jumpers, showing she still had plenty in the tank.
Hard play there by Copper to intercept. And here's Taurasi through traffic and a finish.
Then came Brittney Griner, asserting her dominance in the paint with a series of powerful post moves and finishes. The veterans were rallying.
Defensively turned it over just 2 times in that first half. They averaged 15 a game, so a very good sign from that perspective.
It looked like Phoenix was about to flip the script. They mounted a furious 26-point run, closing the gap and shifting the momentum until Kelsey Mitchell stepped up and silenced the surge with a clutch 3-pointer.
Indiana led by 28 earlier. It's a 26-7 run as Mitchell puts an end to it with a 3.
Still, the Mercury weren't done. With 5 minutes left in the quarter, they had trimmed the lead to just 8.
Skip pass, Copper, extra pass, Herbert Harrigan, delivered.
But Caitlin Clark wasn't about to let it slip away. She came off a screen, rose with ice in her veins, and drilled a 3, right in Taurasi's face.
They've had 7 here in the third quarter. Clark step back on a deep 2. Gets the shooter's touch.
Then with the clock ticking down, Clark dished out a perfectly timed assist to Samuelson, who nailed the buzzer beater to close the third quarter with the Fever still ahead, 70-65.
Cross court Clark. Does Clark see the clock? Handoff Samuelson. Who buries a 3? Samuelson beats the buzzer.
The crowd was on its feet. Fever coach Christy Sides clapped proudly on the sideline. Even the Mercury bench looked rattled. Caitlin wasn't just keeping the Fever afloat, she was dictating the rhythm of the entire game.
And the Fever in the third with a flourish.
But the best was yet to come. Clark opened the quarter by drilling back-to-back threes, one of them from the logo. Logo Caitlin wasn't just a nickname, it was a warning. And as she backpedaled, she pumped her fist and slid right back into work mode like it was just another day at the office.
Clark off the screen, finds some space, and delivers! It's a triple for Caitlin Clark.
Phoenix tried switching to a zone. Clark shredded it. They trapped her. She split it. They doubled her. She dished it. Then came a signature bounce pass, threading the needle for another assist and stretching the lead to 79-71.
Clark seeing 2, bounces. Beautiful. It's Boston with the...
Moments later, Clark launched a near half-court dart to Mitchell, who buried a corner 3. Picture perfect.
Double team, skip past Clark. Mitchell, corner 3, connects.
Then they did it again. Clark and Mitchell recreating the same play, same result. The Fever stole a 13-point lead and Phoenix started to lose steam.
Clark sizing up Cunningham. Here is Mitchell. Another 3. Mitchell is locked in.
Clark controlled the tempo like a maestro, sprinting when she wanted, slowing things down when she pleased. Even under pressure, she made it look effortless. She sprinted coast to coast and finished with a smooth layup, igniting another wave of cheers from the home crowd.
He gets the step on Cunningham. Clark gets to the rim.
Then, just when it looked like she'd done it all, she drove into the paint and fired off a slick pass to Mitchell for another bucket, right after Lexi Hull nailed a 3 of her own. The Fever were on fire.
Clark cutting. It's Mitchell with the finish.
When the final buzzer sounded, Caitlin Clark had stacked up 29 points, 10 assists, 5 rebounds, and 6 threes on 11 attempts. Indiana won 98-89, completing their first ever regular season sweep of the Phoenix Mercury. Then the crowd broke into a chant, USA! Dripping with irony, Caitlin Clark walked off the court with her head high, having just delivered a performance that screamed one undeniable truth. Team USA got it wrong. So why was she left off the Olympic roster? The official line was experience. Coach Cheryl Reeve leaned on familiarity, stacking the team with veterans who had played together before. That meant names like Jackie Young, Sabrina Ionescu, and Ariel Atkins made the cut. Talented players, no doubt, but none were generating the kind of impact Clark was bringing every single night. The Indiana Fever became must-watch basketball. Clark's jersey sales topped the charts. Her presence turned arenas electric, the kind of spark Team USA could have used on the world's biggest stage.
Caitlin Clark can ball. She should have been on Team USA because you needed the marketing buzz.
August 16th wasn't just another game. It was a defining moment of Caitlin Clark's rookie season. A masterclass. A statement. She didn't need a gold medal to validate her greatness. No podium, no anthem, just 40 minutes, a ball, and a stage. And that was more than enough to remind the world exactly who she is. So what do you think? Should Caitlin Clark have made the Olympic team? And if so, who should have stayed home? If this performance gave you chills, hit that like button and subscribe for more moments that make sports history.